Hello, how are you? I hope you're good. Today I want to share my TBR for the upcoming spring equinox in our Orilium Academy, repping my university here. I feel like it's approaching extremely quickly. I am definitely not done with the prep. Life has just been lifing. Good. It was a little bit exciting because Devante has decided that, you know what, she knows how to open like a portal, and that's enough. She's gonna change careers basically. So she used to be studying to be a Rift architect. She has passed her novice level of it, and I did actually think I'm going to continue with that until I thought like, nah, I feel like she does have that kind of flaky personality. She would probably jump from one to another a little bit. Hopefully she can stay with this, but I guess we'll see if, first of all, I even pass it. And second of all, how I feel next year, I guess. But I am swapping and trying to become a dream walker, which, you know, fitting. It is a harder career, so it will be a bit more challenging. Hopefully we can do it. She says having had read a total of 1 book this month. However, it was a very long one. It was like 1,000 something pages, so that's something. But I have my TBR here. It's not entirely present because one of them is on my Kindle and another one I'm leaving as a mood read, but I do want to share the ones that I have picked up and see if any of you have read these, what you thought, if you think I would like it, if you think I'll hate it. There are actually a couple that well, not a couple, maybe one that I actually don't think I will like at all, but it could be entertaining. So we'll see. Super quickly before we get into this, I wanted to talk about today's sponsor, and I'm working with Happy and Polly again. They are a pet item shop and I worked with them before. I think you might have seen it if you watched my color wheel video. I'm so delighted that they wanted to work with me again and so thankful because this is like by far one of my favorite integrations to ever do because I get to get stuff for my fur babies and I love them a lot, obviously. I was quite hesitant to go for this item, and you see me unpacking it here, but only because Momo is extremely particular about his litter. I mean, you know how much I like sci-fi and I just love quirky decor, and we currently have our other litter, just a generic one but a very big box, and it's working great, obviously, but I thought a second one would be amazing, and it looks like a spaceship and I just love that. They also have a lot of different other items on their website. I will obviously leave the link down below. I also have a bookroast 10 code if you want to use for 10% off. They have a lot of cat trees, and I can and the cats have been using the cat tree we got from the previous video literally nonstop every single day. So we unpacked the cat litter and Zeus understood the assignment immediately. He was like, I know what this is. As soon as we put the litter in, you know, it just clicked for him. Momo took a couple of days, but I'm happy to say that they are both using it now. I just love how it looks. I just think it's so fun, hilarious in my opinion. Of course, they have so many other things if you're looking for, especially like quirky cat stuff. But thank you to Happy and Polly for working with me again and sponsoring this channel and helping me out so I can commission artwork for our readathon and continue working on that. Again, link down below. But let's talk about my TBR. For Dreamwalker, I have 7 books that I need to pass. Well, 7 classes that I need to pass in order to continue as a Dreamwalker into the autumn equinox. They actually overlap a lot with my other career, but there are obviously extra ones because this is a bit higher, and I think there's a couple of different ones, but overall it's still very similar in vibes, which makes sense because it's the same character, so she would be gravitated towards similar stuff. And for once I actually didn't prepare my TBR for every prompt because I think 7 is going to be more than enough, and if I do have time, I'm going to focus on our Alchemy questline. It's not ready yet. I don't even know what it's going to be yet. I mean, I know what the questline is going to be, but I don't know what the prompts are going to be yet. But we do, again, have more time to finish the questline, so you don't have to cram it in April if you don't think you'll be able to, but if I feel like if I have any extra time, instead of doing extra classes, I'm just going to focus on the actual quest instead. So I'm trying to be reasonable and not pile more studies on myself than I need to. A new concept. Let's start with Astronomy. So the prompt for this was to find a book with 2 E's in the cover, in the title. So not only is the author here with 2 E's, in the name next to one another, which by the way is not like necessary. You don't have to have them close to one another. But we also then have 6 E's in the actual name. So we matched and surpassed our requirement for letter E's. So this is the Anthropocene reviewed. I don't know 100% that I'm pronouncing that correctly. This is actually a non-fiction book. Shockingly, I didn't even have to flip a coin for my prompts, but I still landed on this. At the core, it is an essay collection about how humans are the most advanced and yet not advanced enough, and how we're, you know, populating the earth and what we're doing with it. I obviously will know more about it after I've read it, but I'm extremely excited. I think this is gonna be a beautiful one to listen to if I can find an audiobook. I like the Green brothers. I have not read too much by John Green. I think I've only actually read one, Turtles All the Way Down. I did enjoy it, but obviously it's very much YA geared, and this one I believe is an adult one. So I'm extremely excited to read their thoughts, and I really enjoy Hank Green's books. And I know they have a podcast, and I think this is maybe based a little bit from the topics of the podcast. I don't know, but I'm very excited to find out. I will be vlogging our readathon weeks, so you'll get my thoughts firsthand from that. But that is my first book in a TBR, and arguably I think I might be the most excited about this. I'm not too sure, you know. Alchemy was actually the hardest prompt for myself. It is the metal in the title, and whilst I actually have quite a few books in my library that have something like bronze or gold or silver, I was just not in the mood to pick it up currently. So I did get a recommendation, and the book is called Silver in the Wood. It's a duology, but it's quite short. I think it's like 120 pages or similar to that mark. And it could go either way, because from what I understand for some reviews, it seems to be quite whimsical and quite lyrical, and we know I don't always love that. So that's adventurous of myself, but at least it's not a very big one. So, you know, if it doesn't go too well, then that's fine. It does obviously focus a lot on the wood, and I think there is like someone who lives in the woods, and it was described a lot as like almost like a fever dream, very, very atmospheric. From the actual synopsis, there is a wild man who lives in the deep quiet of Green Hollow, and he listens to the wood. Tobias, tethered to the forest, does not dwell on his past life, but he lives a perfectly unremarkable existence with his cottage, his cat, and his dryads. I did hear that there's cats, so that's a plus. When Green Hollow Hall acquires a handsome, insanely curious new owner in Henry Silver, everything changes. All secrets better left buried are dug up, and Tobias is forced to reckon with his troubled past, both the green magic of the woods and the dark things that rest in its heart. I do know also that it is gay. So yay. But I guess we'll see. I'm not too sure what to expect. I think it's going to be very lyrical, so it could go either way. Next on the list is The Art of Illusion, and that prompt is to match your outfit to your book. And this is the one that I'm leaving open for a mood read. So I am genuinely more leaning towards a mood reader as a person, leaving a fairly open prompt, I think, to kind of fall back on if I'm not feeling like picking up any of these next is going to be a big help, I think. Especially since now, you know, I'm asking you guys for recommendations on Twitter, and I'm getting tagged in photos, and I'm, you know, watching TBR videos. I think I'm gonna discover some books that I might not know yet. And you know, that like new excitement of like, oh my god, that sounds so good, I wanna try it. I might just like go with that and then see how I feel. So I might pick something up that I don't even have yet. And because this is to match your outfit while you're reading it, it should hopefully be fairly easy. I mean, I'm not gonna go wild at it, so this is the one that I'm leaving open for now. For spells and incantations, this is the Magic Missiles prompt. We were looking for the book that has between 389 to 415 pages. This one has 398 without the appendix bits, and it's actually The Stone Sky. This is the third book in the Broken Earth trilogy. I absolutely adore the first one. I don't even know how to describe it, but it is a world where the magic kind of comes from the earth, and the magic is so unsettling that it actually has like massive earthquakes, and we follow a couple of characters all with some sort of powers and all kind of hiding it. And it's really heart-wrenching, but it's so good. And I know for a fact, I obviously read the second one, but I've also heard about the third one that nothing will ever match how good the first one is. But I still really want to finish this before I forget too much. And I'm very excited to finish this because, again, if I don't do that soon, it will be too late. Like, it'll be just too long of a break. But who knows? Maybe I will be an unpopular opinion and I will enjoy the third one more. I don't think I will, but you know, I am known to have unpopular opinions, so. Oh, I just realized I don't even need this book. That was for the old career. Nice. Okay, so you know the one that I said that I don't think I will like? It was actually If We Were Liars, and it was for Inscription, which I don't even need for Dreamwalker, which is great because I don't actually want to read this. This was just like from the top shelf, and there were not a lot of books that I think I could possibly squeeze in and still manage because this is quite like short. I have like, this has been making its rounds on TikTok, but I just feel like I've heard so many bad things as well that I just, you know, maybe it would surprise me, but now I don't need to figure out. I don't need to find out. Maybe next time. So the actual next one is Psionics and Divination, and for this I needed something with clouds on the cover, which like surprisingly was much harder than I thought to find, but then I did. And it is called Squire. I actually got this at the bookstore kind of on a whim. I never heard of it before. I've never heard of it since, but it really drew me in by the cover, and then I like kind of flicked through it and it looks like a fun, unique comic. It's really heavy. It's just like a weapon, and it's quite like lengthy, but on the back it says, born a second-class citizen, Asa has always dreamt of becoming a knight. It's the highest military honor in the once great Baisaji Empire, and as a member of the recent colonized Ornu people, it's her only way to full citizenship. Now ravaged by famine and mounting tension between the different provinces, Baisaji finds itself on the brink of war once again, and Isa can finally enlist in the competitive Squire training program. It's not how she imagined it though. Hiding her Ornu status in order to better blend in, Isa must navigate new friendships, rivalries, and rigorous training under the merciless General Hand. As the pressure mounts, Isa realizes that the greater good military promises might not include her, and that the recruits might be in more danger than she imagined. She will have to choose loyalty to her heart and heritage or loyalty to the Empire. The artwork looks genuinely so beautiful. I'm quite excited to read this, and it's the only comic manga visual thing that I have in my TBR so far, so I think it will add a little bit of a break as well if I want to, you know, have something a little bit more playful. I do not know if this is a standalone or if it's a series, so I guess I will let you know once I read it, but I'm really excited about this. Definitely let me know if you have read it, because I feel like I've not heard people talk about it, but I'm also not the best at keeping up with like what people are talking about, so definitely let me know. Then we have Conjuration, which is a friend's recommendation, and I asked Cody for a recommendation for me, and she picked Hex, which is very kind because it is very short. This, I do know it is about witches, and it's also set in Edinburgh, I'm pretty sure, or Scotland. It could just be Scotland. No, it is Edinburgh. It is someone who's convicted of witchery and is in a prison cell several floors below Edinburgh High Street, and they receive a mysterious visitor who says she comes from the future. And so we have witches and we have time travel and we have Edinburgh and all the things that I like. I don't want to know too much about this because it is very, very teeny tiny, so we're gonna put it onto the pile and I will let you know my thoughts when I read it. And then very lastly, for my actual required reading, we have Lore, which is a book with a map, and to show you that said book definitely has a map, I thought I should probably tackle this because it's been a while and I've not read it yet, and it's been out for, you know, like a little while now. And it is Cytonic. This is the third book in Skyward series. It's a sci-fi Brandon Sanderson book. It is a YA one, so it's fairly easy to get into if you've not read anything from Sanderson before. What's her name? Oh my god. Spencer. It follows Spencer, who in the first book wants to go and apply to this, what do you call them? Pilot system course thing. Her father is marked a traitor to the whole colony, and she knows in her heart's heart that that cannot be true, and she wants to kind of prove to everyone that they're wrong about her family. And she uncovers a lot of things, and there is a sentient ship which we know I love. Unpopular opinion, A, so maybe I will continue my trend with this, but I actually prefer the second one over the first one because of some elements that I don't really want to say, because it's not really a spoiler, but it is kind of a spoiler. But those elements being present in the second book really, like, it was yummy to me. Like, I really like that. I don't actually know what the third one is about. I will say the first and the second one felt a little bit like the same kind of plot line, but repeated and with different things. There was a very satisfying reveal in the first one, and there were some aspects of the book that I really enjoyed in the second one. So we'll see how we are with the third one. But this is another one that's slightly bigger, but I kind of flew through the previous one, so I'm hoping that I won't be struggling too much with this either. And that, my friends, my fellow mages, concludes my TBR. So all of these, plus the silver in the woods, silver in the wood, I think. Plus, we got rid of one of the books of my TBR, so that's an expected plus. And then of course, I hope to read these in time to continue with the quest as we go along, but as I said, I will be trying to vlog that, so there's vlogs coming up and hopefully some more content. I know I've been, again, quiet, but you know, I said it before, things happening. I would love to hear if you read any of these books and what you thought. I hope you're having fun creating your TBRs. Thank you so much for nerding out with me. It's never not appreciated. Always very humble that you guys want to do this with me. Thank you so much for sticking around. Have fun, and I will speak to you in the comments. Bye!